Hey, it's Ryan with S&B, and today we're going to be installing our new sending unit for the 17 and up Power Strokes for use with externally mounted lift pumps. Today we're going to be doing the install on a long bed 2017 truck. It's going to be one part number that's going to cover all the 17 and up long beds. There's a separate part number that's going to cover all the short beds for those same years, with the difference being the height of the sending unit as well as the orientation of the cap with respect to the bucket differs between the bed configurations. Once you get in the box opened up, you're going to get the sending unit itself. You're going to get a hardware pack that includes all the fittings needed to make it work with either the FASS or an AirDog lift pump, as well as some fuel line, which is going to power the Venturi port on this sending unit. So let's jump underneath the truck and get the install going. So as you can see, the long bed we're working on today is in the process of getting a flatbed installed. That's going to make it way easier to see what's going on as we begin routing fuel lines and removing and replacing the sending unit in this truck. This truck previously had a FASS installed. All I've done over here to get ready for the video is remove the bulkhead fitting for the suction, as well as the engine return from the pump and the engine return, and the pump return. So the sending unit's now ready to pull out. And this basically process will be the same if you have the bed on your truck. We just recommend dropping the tank per our installation video of our long bed and short bed 17 and up fuel tanks. And then we obviously recommend following FASS or AirDog's instructions depending on whose lift pump you're going to be using our sending unit with. So to get started, we will be removing the sending unit. So I've already removed the electrical connector as well as all the FASS lines from the sending unit. If you haven't installed your FASS yet, it'll just be the 4 quick connects on the factory lines and the electrical connector. If you have installed your FASS, it's the bulkhead fitting and 2 quick connects. You can see one's right here, and then I have the bulkhead fitting laying over here. So we'll be switching around some of these fittings, but I'll go ahead and start getting that locking ring taken out and the sending unit out of the tank. To get the sending unit removed, I'm just going to take a long pry bar and a mallet here. And that sending unit's ring is off. With the ring off, we can just remove that from the top here and get this sending unit pulled out of the tank. Before getting started on transferring over your sending unit level card, make sure you use extreme caution. Don't pry on the float or bend any of the fingers on the resistor card itself. These are pretty sensitive, and so if you're not careful when removing it and reinstalling it, you can end up with a bad level sensor card. With the sending unit removed from the vehicle, we can go ahead and remove the level sensor card so that we can go ahead and get it installed on our new S&B sending unit. To do so, first we're going to remove the electrical connection on the bottom of the sending unit flange, and we'll come in and show that a little better here. So this connector, there's going to be a tab on the inside of the connector here. We're just going to push down with a fingernail, make sure we don't pull on the actual cord itself, and wiggle back and forth. And sometimes this one's a little difficult, so I can use a pick, and there's a little tab right here. We're just going to depress the tab and pull outwards, and the connector has gone ahead and released. With the connector released, we can now move to removing the level sensor card itself. There's going to be 2 tabs on the outside here. We're going to depress both tabs and slide up. And that's going to remove the float and level sensor card. And now we can just undo the wiring around the suction tube there, and we're ready to install this on our new S&B sending unit. To install it on the S&B sending unit is just going to be the reverse of the steps. So we're going to get the 2 prongs facing outwards and slide it in to the indentations here and just click that in, and it's going to lock right in right there. And then we can go ahead and wind the electrical cord around the suction tube just like it was on the factory install. 2 or 3 wraps just to make sure it doesn't get tangled up with the float. And then on the bottom of the S&B sending unit, the exact same connector. So we will just push this in until it clicks and you're good to go. So with the float installed on the S&B sending unit, we're going to be okay to drop this right back into the tank. We're going to make sure that our indexing tab on our sending unit is still pointing towards the arrow in your S&B or factory tank. We will drop the float in there carefully. There we go. Now, all right. So with that started, we can now get our mallet and pry bar and drive this back. All right, so our sending unit is now installed, and we're gonna go ahead and start hooking up lines. So included with your S&B sending unit hardware pack is going to be the 3/8 Venturi feed line, some 1/2-inch adapter line. This is if you're gonna be running an AirDog. The adapters to run the AirDog on both sides, as the fuel line on the AirDog is slightly smaller than the fast line. And then you're gonna have 3 Parker push lock fittings here, or quick connect fittings rather. This is gonna be your pump suction to your lift pump. This is going to be your pump return. And then this is going to be your Venturi power. This is going to thread directly into your pump housing. There's 2 fittings here. This is gonna allow us to tee off and power the Venturi. So we will remove, I'll show you how to remove this off the existing fitting, and install our new custom brass fitting. And then this will thread onto the nipple on the side here and allow you to run the 3/8 fuel line over to our sending unit. And then we also include an assortment of different size hose clamps, just to make sure you have what you need to get this installed in your application. AirDog pumps for the 17 and up Power Strokes are now coming with the provision to actively use the factory Venturi in the sending unit. To do so, they include this Y fitting on the 2 engine side that's Ying that to Venturi power and 2 engine. On the fast system, we include a brass fitting that does the exact same thing, but you're going to be able to use the AirDog supplied Y. And to make that happen, they use all 1/2-inch fuel line. So we include a couple adapters here, one being a 1/2-inch to 3/8 adapter, so that you can utilize the Venturi power line that we include, and also our quick connect fitting. So if you ever have to drop the tank in the future, it's just a simple quick connect right here on the sending unit. On the suction side to the AirDog pumps, they also utilize 1/2-inch fuel line. So we include a 1/2-inch to 5/8 barb and a short piece of 5/8 hose, so that you can use our larger 5/8 quick connect on the suction side from your S&B sending unit. These are going to be the only differences between a fast and AirDog style pump when being used with our sending unit. With the sending unit installed in the truck, we can go ahead and start connecting our fuel lines. We deleted the factory lines on this truck and ran 1/2-inch fast line all the way up to the fuel cooler on the frame rail. So this will be our engine return with the blue, and this is going to go on the vertical rear right here. And just push that down until it snaps on, and then we will click in the locking piece. So that one's good to go. Next up, we have our pump return from the fast. This is going to be the yellow coming over from the fast. Same thing, we're just going to push that on till it clicks right there. And our electrical, we're good to go ahead and grab that now as well. Snap that on. And the next step will be converting the fast bulkhead line or AirDog bulkhead line over to a quick connect fitting. So we'll get that going next. Since this truck already had a lift pump installed on it, it's got the JIC fitting for the bulkhead connection, but we're going to be switching it to a Parker push-on style quick connect here. So I'm just going to cut this hose back. And then we will get our hose clamp slid over first and install our quick connect fitting. Now I will tighten down this hose clamp and show you how that snaps onto our sending unit. With the quick connect installed on our suction line, I was able to get that pushed on, and then the safety snapped in on the bottom here just to make sure it's locked in. So now we've got our feed to the fast, our engine return, and then our pump return from the fast all hooked up. So we can go ahead and work on getting our Venturi power over on the fast side routed over here and hooked up to complete our install. So at the back of the fast pump now, I've gone ahead and removed the 2 engine port here, because we're going to be installing the new S&B provided T that has the Venturi power. We're also going to go ahead and remove the pump return to sending unit, just because we need some clearance to get this T fitting installed here. So I will get on this with the wrench, and then on our other side here, get that broken free. Okay. With that out of there, we can now install the S&B provided T-fitting. And this is going to go in with a 7/8. And then we'll clock it where it's pointing right at the frame rail here, just to make install a little easier. Now we can go ahead and put our pump return back on. Now we can put our 2 engine line back on. Get that snugged up. And we can now go ahead and build our Venturi feed line or power line and get it installed and routed. So we've now got both of our ends pressed in here. Our quick connect on the end that's going to go to the sending unit with our hose clamp, and then our JIC push fitting on the end that's going to go to the FASS. So we can go ahead and get this routed with the rest of our FASS lines. We're just going to route it exactly with the pump return, and then get our T installed here. And I'll come back in a second and tighten that down. So I've gone ahead and tightened up our JIC fitting here at the T, as well as routed my Venturi power over to the sending unit side and got the quick connect on the last remaining quick connect fitting, and then the safety tab clicked in. And then I kind of got a service loop in here just so that if we ever need to pull it without pulling the bed again, there's plenty of extra hose. Routed all of our FASS hoses together. So we're now ready to drop this flatbed back on this truck. To prime everything, it's going to be way easier than what you're typically used to. That Venturi will help the priming just by exponentially. So if you have any questions, as always, give us a call at 909-947-0015 or shoot us an email at customerservice@sbfilters.com. Thank you.